Hello everybody and welcome to the Patreon page, the Manchester United Stand Patreon page. It feels like a long time since I've been on here, and we will catch up with all the missed content, because I do want to do 2 a week, and I realised that one last week and one this week, but we will catch up. It's just ridiculous at the moment, and I can only apologise for that. It is ridiculous how much stuff is going on, how much you need to keep in contact with, some of the stresses we've had over the last couple of days dealing with things as well, blah blah blah, boo hoo hoo. But the reality is, we've got a show for you tonight. I want to sort of mix it up. I'm going to do a bit of a World Cup quiz, 5 questions instead of 10, and then some transfer chat, because I really enjoyed the one we did either last week or the week before, where you were talking about players like that on Dembele from I forget what his name was now, the Lyon midfielder. So I want to be the sponge to your knowledge tonight. So if you're watching via Patreon, all you need to do is click the screen where I am. You'll see YouTube in the bottom corner, right hand corner. Click that and it'll bring you through to our live comments section. We've got Jay here. We've got Michael Hubbard, Raj, Stavros, Robert Fahy, and who else is here? Susan's in here. We've got Jared in here, and we've got Thomas in here. So we've got around 10 people watching at the moment. We'll have a little bit of a chat for a couple of minutes before we start, because I know Luke Swirls loves his quiz, and Matthew McFadden normally joins us as well. So Jared says, Mark, I was trying to tell you earlier, the Ultimate Team mode, you just need to use the players they give you to do the squad building challenges. Then you get top players and an icon. Mate, that Ultimate Team, I don't think I'll go near it again. I was doing it on my channel, the Mark Goldbridge channel, today at lunchtime, because I've been doing the World Cup challenges on there, which I've really enjoyed. People said do Ultimate Team, and I enjoyed the online element of it, but the whole movement of your players around, I ain't got time for that. I've not got time for that. And I ended up just ending the stream because I was getting a load of abuse on there, and I'll just go back to my World Cup challenges, I think, and my Formula 1 racing. Do what makes you happy. Michael Hubbard says, Mark, what was the announcement thing for Monday night? Okay. Well, I can tell you that the announcement was to do with YouTube, and I don't know whether it's going to happen now, but on Monday we were having a few problems again. Not directly with YouTube, but just with a few things. And I think the thing is, we were just seriously thinking about moving the United Stand off YouTube, because it's I don't want to go into it too much, but we obviously had the video taken down a few weeks ago by YouTube, which was ridiculous, and we got that sorted out. But obviously then we had the flying pig thing, which is sorted out. I've spoken to him. He's been very okay about it. I still think it was a bit unfair to do it against us and nobody else, but, bygones be bygones. And, I've actually given him a bit of advice on content to do, and he started doing it, so that's great. But I don't really actually have an issue with him. It's the haters who sort of jump on it. So, and we were even thinking of just going exclusively onto Patreon, because is a troll going to spend $2 a month to come on and troll live comments or anything like that? So we were thinking of doing that, but then we were like, well, the United Stand isn't really about. It's still growing. It's a growing thing, and it grows every year, and that means that there's United fans out there that will enjoy the United Stand for what it is. And if you take it into a closed Patreon group, then how are people ever going to find it? So we're still looking at things like that, but that's the honest under. That's the honest under. Firefight. The video wasn't taken down. What it was is we had a video on a Sunday night a couple of weeks ago where we were talking about the Jose Mourinho death threats. And because YouTube's got its own sort of monitors, they obviously picked up death threats a few times in that video. And they took it down for 48 hours, which we were like stunned about. And then our first appeal, they said, no, it's staying down. And then we went back again, and they were okay about it. But it caused a lot of stress at the time, because it was like, because it was taken down, they were like, they were really like saying, well, we don't want you doing this anymore. It was a storm in a teacup, but it was a little bit of a concern. But there we go. Mark, did you Ndombele? What's your opinion about him, Stavros? Yeah, I like the look of him. I do like the look of him. Jarrod, I am going to start playing people on FIFA. Mad Marcus wants me to play him as well. Sophie wants me to play him as well. Try the online seasons mode, says Michael Hubbard. Yeah, I did like that. I did like that. But I was just enjoying the World Cup stuff. Robert Farr, says, how are we doing? Okay, let's do the World Cup quiz then, because we've got about 14 people watching, and if people aren't here by now, then that's their loss. It's only a 5-question one, and then we'll have a bit of a transfer chat as well. So let's crack away with it. The first question of the night is going to be, ready, how this works is, first one to get the right answer in the comments will get a point, but obviously keep an eye, and I should be able to keep a better eye on everyone tonight because there's only 5 questions on how many you get right. So, the last United player to score in a World Cup finals, please. Who was it? The last Manchester United player to score in a World Cup finals. So not World Cup qualifiers, and obviously it might have been in 2014. Who was the last player to score in the World Cup finals? Aaron Bryan, you see, that's what I mean. You can talk about something quite innocently, and then it can just get picked up by YouTube's monitoring, audio monitors. Noel, I do need to come to Ireland soon. Robert Farr, says Schweini. Susan McKerney says Rooney. Noel Kinsella says Rooney. Raj says do Argentina next. Yeah, I'm going to do one tomorrow. I need to have a think about that, actually. I'm half tempted to do Colombia, but we'll see. I'm going to have a look at the groups and see what groups I've not done and what paths I haven't done to see if I can make it a little bit different. Misty Junior says RVP. Still waiting on a few answers. It's a little bit slow today. I don't know why. We've only had 4 answers. Could take a while. Firefly needs choices. I can tell you that Mr. Junior has the first points. Mr. Junior was right. It was Robin van Persie. It was in the 3rd place playoff. In a 3-0 win against Brazil. Robin van Persie was the one. See, these might be difficult tonight. These might be difficult because it's not your normal 10 one. I'm going in hard with 5. Right. You might get this one, actually. You should get this one. Was Argentina in the final and did Rojo score, says Stavros? They were in the final. That might be part of a question in a minute. Who is the only Manchester United player currently to be a World Cup winner? He's part of the squad at the moment. He's the only World Cup winner in the squad at the moment. Who is it? Get your answers in. What player currently at Manchester United is the only player to have won the World Cup? Susan McKerney says maybe you should give multiple choice. I'm not going to give a multiple choice on this one, Susan, but maybe I should have done on that one. You're right. Slap on the wrist. You are right, Susan. It was difficult. I'll think about that for the others. Right, we've got some answers coming in. Jay says De Gea. Robert Farr says Mata. Susan McKerney says Mata. Stavros says De Gea was on the bench. Firefire999 says Mata. Raj says Mata. Michael Hubbard says Mata. Carl Hines says Mata. Stavros M says we are all terrible in this quiz. You're not, because Raj was first and he got it right. It is Juan Mata. It was in 2010 that Spain last won the World Cup, so it was way before De Gea's time. Juan Mata is the only player in the current Manchester United squad who has won a World Cup. So well done, Raj, and a lot of you got that one right, so fair dues to you on that one. Okay, let's do that question that somebody was talking about there. In fact, it was Stavros talking about Rojo. Argentina versus Germany in 2014 was the final. I don't know why I've gone a bit scouse, but it was the final. How many Manchester United players, or ex-Manchester United players, current or ex, they all count, featured in the final, Argentina versus Germany? Give me a number. Was it 1, 2, 3 or 4? There you go, Susan. 1, 2, 3 or 4. How many Manchester United players, current or ex, featured in the 2014 final? And when I say featured, I mean actually played in the final. Doesn't count if you're on the bench, unused. Jay says 3. Thomas says 4. Robert Farr says 4. Stavros says 3. You know what? I'm going to have to check now. I think I know. I think I know. But you can keep chucking in your answers while I just double check. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that was the... I just wanted to double check because a lot of people are putting in an answer that could be right. And it's 3. It is 3. So Jay is right. Well done, Jay. It was Romero, Rojo and Schweinsteiger. Angel Di Maria was on the bench and he was unused. So if you got 4, you can give yourself a point in yours. But in relation to a technical point, if you want to. But 3 is the correct answer I was looking for. So Aaron O'Brien, you're wrong. You got 2. Steve Cumberland, 3. Carl Hein, 4. Jared Passerman, 3. Atta 3, Susan 3, and yes, Jay Coulter says yes. Good question. Good question. I think when I answered it myself, I said I did say 3, but I would have been wrong because I forgot Romero. I was saying Di Maria, Rojo, and Schweinsteiger. I forgot about Romero, so it's not right really. Snake let me down, says Thomas. Snake in the live comments. So question 4, and we've got 3 people on 1. In the 2014 World Cup, Robin van Persie was the top ex or current Manchester United player with 3 goals. There was another player, an ex Manchester United player, who scored 2. Was it Wayne Rooney? Was it Angel Di Maria? Was it Daley Blind? Or was it Memphis Depay? Who scored 2? Ex-Manchester United player. Van Persie got 3. Who scored 2? Was it Di Maria, Rooney, Blind or Memphis? And I'd count 1 out straight away because they're crap at World Cups and they won't be playing in another. Thomas says Blind. Robert Farhi says Rooney. That's the one I was talking about, Robert. I'd have binned Rooney off straight away. Jay says Memphis. Steve says Di Maria. Raj says Depay. Stavros says Di Maria. Susan says Rooney. Mr. Junior says Memphis. Noel says Depay. Firefire says Blind. And Atra says Memphis. If you said Memphis Depay, well done. I applaud you. Jay, again, you got it right, mate. It was Memphis Depay. Rooney scored 1, says Mr. Junior. It was Memphis Depay. And quickly following on to complete the quiz, which current player scored 2 goals in the World Cup? But it wasn't a Manchester United player then. Which current player scored 2 goals in the World Cup in 2014, but wasn't a Manchester United player then, but is a Manchester United player now? And I'm not going to give you 4 because you'll get it if I give you 4. I might drop a hint if somebody doesn't get it, but if they do, yeah, which current Manchester United player who wasn't a Manchester United player in 2014, but was playing in the Premier League, scored 2 goals? And somebody's got it right already. Oh, a lot of people are getting it right now. A lot of people are getting it right. A few people said Lukaku. It wasn't Lukaku. It was Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez. So, final scores in relation to who got them quicker was Robert Farhi got 1, Raj got 1, Mr. Junior got 1, but Jay is the winner with 2. So well done to Jay. You've won the World Cup one. There's going to be a bigger World Cup one next week, but that was just to sort of give you as a little bit of a taster. We'll be back next week on Tuesday with a 10-question World Cup quiz. Won't all be about United, a lot of it will, but we want to sort of get in the World Cup spirit and mood, because I am really getting into it. It's weird. I detest international football all through the season. I hate the international breaks. But when the tournament comes round, I get sucked in through nostalgia. I can't wait for the World Cup. Me and Xander were talking today, because on That's Football, we're going to be doing watch-alongs for every single game. And I've got my diary in front of me here, and we were going through it, getting really excited. But some of the days are ridiculous. I mean, you've got... Starts on Thursday, there's only 1 game. Friday 3, Saturday 4, Sunday 3, Monday 3, and then it's 3, 3, 3, 3. It's just 3 games a day from 1 o'clock through till 9 o'clock. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Well done to Jay. little bit of transfer talk. People want to talk about transfers, or should we just end it there? I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having a little bit of a chat if people want to do it. Just gonna have a quick look and see if there's any news. Any news? I mean, I'll tell you what. I'll throw you a question. There's you know, the live comments is moving lovely here. So, Griezmann, what do you think? Do you think there's anything in that Griezmann rumour? Because I don't. I think you've got to... I disagree with the people who say don't talk about bullshit rumours, because we're a fan channel. You know, if you're a fan channel that only talks about credible stuff, what's the point? You may as well be a paper. In fact, I don't think I got that across properly on the live stream earlier on. What I was trying to say, hopefully it came across, was that we're a fan channel. We can talk about what we like, and then people make their mind up whether they want to watch it or not. But if we only deal in credible outlets and credible stories, then we may as well just be a newspaper. That's the whole thing about being a fan channel, isn't it? Squawker saying, why England are one of the most tactically intriguing sides at the 2018 World Cup? Because we're shit, to be honest. Belgium are on the MUTV, aren't they, at the moment? I don't understand why people were talking about Fellaini. I've just realised something here. And I don't know why. There was all this talk about Fellaini going to play for going to Arsenal today, and that was never going to happen because he's surely playing for Egypt, not for Egypt. He's surely playing for Belgium today, who are winning 2-0. He's on the bench, and he's actually come on. So how on earth would Fellaini be down talking to Arsenal today when he's playing for Belgium? And I know he could have gone in during the day, but that's not what you do when you've got a match day. So, no. Clearly not true. Susan says, I would love the Griezmann rumour to be true, but can't see it happening. We've got more chance of splashing cash on Griezmann than Savic. We wouldn't pay Fred 50-odd million to be a bench player with Savic coming in, says Raj. Yeah, but you know what, Raj? I think we need more than Fred in that midfield. We've got to go and get another midfielder. So what, are we going to go cheaper than 50 million? I mean, I know there's talk of there was talk of Golovin today, which I think was another fake rumour going around. But I think we need to definitely get another one. Is Pogba everyone's best friend? Everyone loves him. Dybala, Griezmann, Lukaku, says Jay Coulter. He's not France's best friend, is he? 70% of them want him dropping. I don't understand why. I don't understand it at all. Jared, I think 10% is generous, but still there is always a shot as long as him and Pogba are best friends. I can't see it happening. I'd like to see it happen, and I suppose I'm dumbing it down because if it does happen, I'd be really, really happy. Who do you think will win the World Cup, says Susan. I'm going to do a World Cup preview, but I think I'm going to do it on the Goldbridge channel. I was talking to somebody about this today because we've got a World Cup. If anyone remembers, I've gone really deep in my seat. If anyone remembers Super Brew that we did last year, through the Premier League, they contacted me today and said, will you do one for the World Cup? I said, yeah, we will do. And they were like, we do it on the United Stand. And I said, I think with something like that, it takes a minute to explain what Super Brew is, and people are interested in the World Cup. But I said, we're not doing specific World Cup shows on the United Stand, because the United Stand's a Manchester United fan channel. It's not a World Cup fan channel, and we've got That's Football for that. But we will be doing a World Cup preview. But who do I think is going to win it? Susan, I've always said Brazil is going to be my... I don't think they're favourites to win it, but I just got a funny feeling Brazil might win it, to be honest. But, I mean, the thing is, look what Germany did to them in 2014. It can happen. It can happen. Germany and Spain are probably the thinking person's one, but I'm going to go Brazil. Noel would like Pjanic at United. I've heard Pjanic mentioned a few times, but I've never seen anything that he's wanting to get away from Juventus. I know we were linked to him before he went to Juventus, which was either last summer or the summer before, but I don't know. Who do I think we will buy next, Steve? I think that's a cracking question. It's difficult. I'm not convinced we'll sign anybody before the World Cup now. I'd like to think it's Alexandre, because that deal, he's not part of the World Cup, so that could be done, but... That's who I'd like to see us sign. But if you want Milinkovic-Savic, if you want Bale, if you want Ronaldo, whatever you want, whatever you like. It's going to be after the World Cup. But Alex Sandro's the one. I think we've got to sign a left back, and that's who I would go for, to be honest with you. Although Griezmann will announce his future in the next few days. Yes, Raj, I've seen that Liverpool have been linked to Shaqiri, and somebody actually asked me earlier on, would I take Shaqiri at United? No, I wouldn't. Like I wouldn't take Arnautovic. They're at Stoke and they got relegated with Stoke for a reason. If Shaqiri was all that, he would have kept Stoke up. If you put Martial in a Stoke team or Rashford in a Stoke team, they wouldn't get relegated. So, yeah, Shaqiri's on his day is a good player, but when's his day? That's the problem. Susan says, I've got Brazil. I tell you what I really wanted to do. I'm really disappointed about this. We have a website, the United Stand, and I was trying to find something today where you could basically get somebody to go on the website, chuck their email address in, to go in a sweepstake, and then we auto-generate a reply to them, which is a team. Because you can do sweepstakes easily with 32 people. But if we do a World Cup sweepstake, we're probably going to get at least 300 people wanting to play it. So what I thought is there must be something out there where people can go to the website, whack an email address in, and then they get sent back a randomised team out of the 32. But I couldn't find, for the life of me, I couldn't find a plug-in or anything to do it on the website. So it was really annoying because I would love to have done that. And it was the only way I could think of with the audience that we've got to auto-generate teams for everybody and make it fun. So the Super Brew thing might be quite good though. Willian says Gerrard will be the next. Well, Willian's part of the World Cup squad. I think if Willian's going to happen, I think it'll be the end of July, start of August. Because as I said yesterday, Mourinho knows what he's getting with Willian. Premier League proven, doesn't need to be coming in and get involved in the tour. He can just come in and hit the ground running. So I think if Willian happens, it'll happen towards the end of July. Stavros, would you sign Savic and then see what you can do from there, or sign 2 or 3 players instead of other positions? Savic has got to come to United, but he can't be the last signing. It can't just be Fred, Savic and Dalot. The reality is we've got to get a left back and we've got to get another midfielder. That's the minimum. If we go and get a centre back and an attacker, great. But that's got to be the minimum. I just worry when people start talking about we're going to get a left back, we're going to get Milinkovic-Savic, we're going to get Griezmann or Willian, we're going to get a centre back. And I think, have you not learned anything from United over the last decade under the Glazers? When do they ever go and spend the money that they've got? Last summer, we bought 3 players, one of which was a development player, Lindelof. So we bought 2 players when we needed 4 or 5. And they wouldn't give him the money for Perisic. They were bartering over 5 million quid. So what's changed in a year? I still think United are quite tight with their money. And I don't expect us to go and do anything super. Mark, you think Fosu Mensah and Pereira will play at all next season or be loaned out? Atra, I think it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But we'll live in hope. And I agree with Stavros, the next deal will probably be a player not playing in the World Cup. Aaron, I agree. The board do need to put closing the gap on City before profit margins. 100%. Spot on. Just a couple of people mentioning, do I think Luke Shaw will stay? I always backed Luke Shaw and he stayed fit all last year. And I do like Luke Shaw. And I know Jared thinks different because obviously Jared's done the watch-alongs with me. But I like Luke Shaw. I'm happy for Luke Shaw to stay. But if he's going to stay, he's got to be first choice left back. My concern with Luke Shaw staying is he will stay. He'll just be backup for Ashley Young. We've seen that. When it comes to Shaw and Young, wrongly, Mourinho values Young as the first choice left back. What I'm saying is I like Luke Shaw. I don't mind him staying. But we've still got to sign a left back because Mourinho will never use Luke Shaw as his first choice while Ashley Young's at the club. And if Ashley Young's our first choice, we're not winning the league. It's that simple. So that's why I think it's important for us to sign a left back. And I don't think I've ever made it that clear on the United Stand before. And maybe I will do tomorrow. But that's why I like Luke Shaw. I've always backed Luke Shaw. I'm not saying sell Luke Shaw. But what you can clearly see is if Luke Shaw stays at United, he's just going to be understudy to Young. And if Young's the main left back, we're not winning anything. So Yeah, I'd agree with Jay as well. Luke Shaw probably needs a change himself. I think there's a very interesting summer ahead for United, both outgoings and ingoings, because people are going to go out the door. And if we sign a centre-back, then Jones or Smalling are going. And Luke Shaw and Martial have still got to decide their futures as well. So watch this space. It's going to be very interesting. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Nice little show tonight on Patreon. I always really do enjoy it. So keep an eye out on the posts. And we'll definitely be doing the big World Cup Bonanza quiz next Tuesday at 8:30. And I'm going to try and fit in another sort of transfer chat on here before then, because I do really enjoy it and it's nice just to be able to do it. So thanks everybody. I shall speak to you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And thanks for joining me live. And if you're not watching live, I hope you enjoy the content. Speak to you soon.